In the first lesson of this course on happiness, we introduced the power of the mind and the foundations of controlling your thoughts and emotions. In this next lesson, we will expand and build on this understanding so we can all become brain ninjas able to navigate our emotions with ease. In this subject, we'll go over the following: the key to disputing beliefs, the up and down spirals, mindfulness meditation, core beliefs, and getting to the core of our thinking. This can all sound a bit intimidating, but stick with me. I'll explain things in a language I hope anyone can understand. Like with all the subjects, feel free to jump ahead if you already know the information. Here I would like to mention the sponsor of the video, the Happy app. The Happy app is a mental wellness hub with a multitude of free tools which can help you on your healing journey. There is a gratitude journal space, friendship space, and best of all, AI therapists you can chat with like regular people. It's an exciting time in history. Experience the convenience and wonders of the Happy app today. The link is in the description. For many of us, all it can take is one unhealthy belief to keep us in a place of misery. Just one thorn stuck deep within our psyche. If only we were able to know what that belief was and be able to dispute it and replace it with a healthy alternative, we would have the key to our cage to be able to walk free from this thing which is the cause of so much misery. Using myself as an example, for years I had the belief that nothing I tried, no matter how hard I worked, would get me out of a rut in life. I had a belief that failure would follow me to the grave, and that success and relief from the daily grind would be forever out of reach. That I was like Sisyphus, a figure from Greek mythology, doomed to forever push a boulder up a hill, only to roll back down when he reached the top. The result of this was that I felt no hope for the future. Hope completely eluded me. Imagine being in a mindset that no matter what you do or try, the future will always be a bleak and miserable place. That was my thorn. It was also a very difficult belief to challenge. How do we argue about the future? It is an unknown. If I base it on the past, I feel like everything I tried, I failed. Based on that line of thought, everything I would try in the future, I would also fail. And that's how we get stuck. That's how the thorn stays there, for some, for many years, or even decades. Well, I want to help set you free. We'll get this together. Today you become a warrior, and this is the demon we will overcome. Finding that thorn can sometimes be half the battle. But if you can find what that deep-seated belief is that is causing you so much misery, then the good news is that you have won half the battle. Time for that witch hunt. Practice what we learned in the last lesson in self-awareness. Once you know what that unhealthy belief is, here is an exercise to try. Take a Post-it note, write at the top limiting belief, and then write what the belief is underneath. Then write another heading, liberating dispute. Now take that Post-it note and put it somewhere you feel comfortable with that you will also see frequently. That is now your battleground. That is your arena. It is where you will overcome your demons. It is a challenge for you to dispute. One trick is to imagine your boss or a bully from school yelling at you, whatever the unhealthy belief is. How would you argue it if they were accusing you of it? Another way of looking at it is if they were yelling at someone you love, maybe a sibling, maybe your son or daughter. How would you argue for them? Draw on the cognitive restructuring and Socratic questioning we learned in the last lesson. Once you start to find arguments for the limiting belief, write them down underneath the liberating heading on your Post-it note and go over it daily. Stick the Post-it note somewhere you are going to see a lot during the day. We're going to make a new path in the forest that your thoughts will go down. It will become a part of your reality, and you will redefine your thoughts about the world. You will focus on the liberating dispute until it becomes your healthy belief. It will be positive, it will be rational, it will make sense, and it will set you free like a key turning in a lock to the chains around your feet. That is how you take that thorn out of your psyche. It worked for me, and I know it will work for you too. We have spoken about how belief and thought drive emotion. However, there is also a body of evidence which supports the opposite, that what mood we are in affects how we think. This is the psychological domain of Sigmund Freud, the grandfather of psychology, and this line of thinking came before the development of cognitive theory and CBT. Now, something to mention is that just because this is an opposing view and is supported by evidence does not mean that it is exclusively true or discounts that thought drives emotion. The evidence is that each drives the other at times. So what does this mean for your happiness? Well, it is something to know and to take note of. It means that when we are feeling terrible, it is much harder to muster up positive thoughts, and when we are feeling great, it is much easier. It also means that there is a kind of spiral that happens, and if we are not careful, can turn just a mildly bad mood into a terrible mood. The way this happens is when we feel bad, we are more likely to think more negatively. When we think more negatively, we feel worse, and down, down, down we go. The good news is that the opposite is also true. When we're feeling good, we are more likely to have positive thoughts, which make us feel even better. And feeling better, we are more positive, and we begin to spiral up. In a practical sense, this means that when we seek to challenge our unhealthy beliefs, it is much more productive to do so when we are in a good mood to begin with. That's why it helps to find an activity to put you in this good mood. It could be that warm bubble bath with relaxing music, a peaceful walk in the park on a beautiful sunny day, or a calm cup of coffee at your favorite cafe. Putting yourself in a good mood will help you to think more positively and be able to see the sunnier side of life. It also helps to realize that when we do feel ourselves spiraling down, to take notice and try to put a hold on it by being even more vigilant in challenging our negative self-talk. If we do that, then it's not only possible to stop ourselves further spiraling down, but to reverse the process and begin the upward positive spiral of thought and emotion. The upward spiral is a great thing to put into action, especially first thing in the morning. Have you heard the saying that sometimes when we feel bad, we got up on the wrong side of the bed? Here is a trick to forever wake up on the right side of the bed. Those first moments when you wake up in the morning, provided you've had a decent night's sleep, are crucial for setting us up in a good frame of mind for the day. When we wake up, we are leaving a state of consciousness where we are especially susceptible to suggestion. We are also similar to a blank slate of emotion and can much more easily be set up into a positive or negative state of mind. One trick for setting yourself up for a better day ahead is to jumpstart the positive upward spiral from the very first moments when you wake up. So, when your alarm goes off, the first thing to do is think of how well the day is going to go. Think how you're going to smash this one out of the park. The day is brimming with opportunity and possibility, and you are a steamroller ready to plow through it. As a side note, here it is much nicer setting your alarm to a nice song to wake up to, rather than some annoying high-pitched squeal. So no matter what is happening in your life, force yourself to indulge in positive thinking during those first few moments in the morning, and it will set you up for a beautiful upward spiral for the entire day. The other trick is to end the day before on a positive note, too, with a gratitude journal. But we will go into that in more detail in another lesson. Mindfulness meditation is one tool we have in our arsenal for those times when our thoughts are spiraling out of control. It involves allowing thoughts to pass through the mind without engaging with them, focusing instead on the present moment. This practice teaches us not to give attention to unwanted or intrusive thoughts as they float by. It's a technique often used to manage stress and improve mental well-being by promoting a state of calm and acceptance of one's thoughts and feelings. Mindfulness can be a helpful tool for achieving a more peaceful state of mind and reducing the impact of negative thought patterns. Here's a simple guide on how to practice mindfulness meditation. 1. Find a quiet space. Choose a place where you won't be disturbed. 2. Comfortable position. Sit or lie down in a comfortable position. You can sit on a chair, cushion, or the floor. 3. Focus on your breath. Close your eyes and bring your attention to your breathing. Notice the sensation of air entering and leaving your nostrils or the rise and fall of your chest. 4. Observe your thoughts. As thoughts arise, acknowledge them and let them pass like clouds in the sky without engaging or judging them. 5. Gently return to your breath. If you notice your mind wandering, gently bring your focus back to your breath. 6. Practice regularly. Try to meditate daily, even if it's just for a few minutes at a time. Mindfulness meditation is a skill that gets better with practice, so don't worry if your mind wanders at first. It's all part of the learning process. For a more detailed explanation and video-guided exercises, jump onto our sponsor app, Happy, which is your mental health companion app. It can provide step-by-step guidance and tips for deepening your practice. Remember, the key to mindfulness is regular practice and patience. Enjoy the journey of becoming more present and aware in your daily life. Now, challenging stray thoughts is one thing to help your day-to-day happiness, but what we want for lasting happiness is to delve deeper. And that's where something called core beliefs come into the picture. In psychology, core beliefs refer to deeply ingrained fundamental beliefs or assumptions that individuals hold about themselves, others, and the world around them. These beliefs are often formed early in life through personal experiences, interactions with others, cultural influences, and living in society. Core beliefs shape how individuals perceive themselves, interpret events, and navigate their lives. Core beliefs are typically unconscious or automatic and can influence thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. They serve as the lens through which individuals view themselves and the world, guiding their perceptions, judgments, and reactions. Core beliefs are often resistant to change because they are deeply rooted and may have been reinforced over time through repeated experiences. Core beliefs are also quite hard to find. It's hard to know what our core beliefs are and to pinpoint them, but once we find them, there is a lot of power in the knowledge. Examples of core beliefs include self-worth. This is the belief about one's value and worthiness as a person. For example, I am lovable, I am unworthy. Competence. This is the belief about one's abilities and capabilities. Trust. This is the belief about the reliability and trustworthiness of others. Control. This is the belief about one's ability to influence or control outcomes. For example, I am in control of my life, I am powerless. Safety. This is the belief that the world is a safe or dangerous place. Core beliefs can be adaptive and functional, helping individuals navigate their environment and make sense of their experiences. However, they can also be maladaptive and contribute to psychological distress and interpersonal difficulties. For example, someone who holds negative core beliefs about themselves may experience low self-esteem and struggle with feelings of inadequacy, while someone who holds negative core beliefs about others may have difficulty forming trusting relationships. The good news is that what we have covered so far, approaches such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, often focus on identifying and challenging these maladaptive core beliefs to promote psychological well-being and personal growth. By examining the origins and consequences of core beliefs and developing more adaptive alternatives, we can cultivate greater self-awareness, resilience, and emotional regulation. For example, here's a scenario to explain it better. Let's say you are running late for the dentist. You might have the thought that if you're late, they won't see you, they won't catch a cavity, and you'll lose your teeth and end up homeless and toothless. Now that is a classic case of catastrophizing. If you pick up on that downward spiral, you can combat those irrational thoughts by using the method we talked about. In this case, you would recognize the spiral, challenge the thought, realize you're catastrophizing, and that you can just make another appointment and everything will be fine. It might be a long leap to consider that missing a single appointment leads to being homeless. But if you went deeper and tried to think why you had that thought in the first place, you might realize that actually you have a belief that nothing ever goes right for you. Even deeper, you find that you have a belief that the world works in a way where some people are lucky and others are not, that you are not worthy of luck or fortune in life. On a day-to-day basis, from this core belief, you may frequently spiral into catastrophic thinking, and every time something bad happens, subconsciously reinforce that core belief. When something goes wrong, you might say to yourself, "See, that's the proof that nothing good ever happens to me." Additionally, you may glaze over when something good happens and challenges that core belief, because we would rather hold on to our negative belief and have an understanding of how the world works than challenge our core belief system and have the world as an uncertain place of unpredictability. Fear, in a way, drives us to hold on to our maladaptive and unhealthy beliefs because at least we understand how the world works, and that gives us a sense of control. Now, in general, you don't want to have to challenge these negative spirals every day. You want to go to the root of the problem. The root is the core belief. Challenging these can have a lasting impact on how positively you see the world. They can also be stubborn to change, which is why in the next lesson I want to introduce you to the aspects of behavior and conditioning. So that finishes our biggest subject on mind control. It's a lot to take in, and well done for getting this far. Now, with our busy lives, it's likely we won't remember everything we've learned even by the end of the week. For this reason, I recommend that you come back every so often to refresh. Take out your diary or calendar right now and create a reminder 1 year from now to come back to this course. It's what I used to get the information in, and I think it will help you too. Finally, although this course is free for you, it was not free to get it to you. If I have helped you, all I ask is to think about supporting me with a small donation to my Patreon account or grabbing my Happiness Handbook on Amazon. The links are in the description. Your help allows me to continue creating these courses, reaching others, and spreading the joy in every language.